What's up, YouTube? Inbooker15 here. The day after the LA regionals, and today's video is sponsored by there's no 6 Samurai Shin because he kicked my butt twice yesterday. So the deck is based around Eatos and GBs. So Eatos Glads. Let's get straight to it. I got Trip Eatos because it's the namesake of the deck. She gets the job done, great beater, works great along with the quarry for getting over those big monsters. When you tie it in with Lance, she really gets over some big stuff, including 3,000 hitters, like freaking just random 3,000 hitters, dragons, things that give me problems. We also got the quarry for the general GB beat stick. Got double Murmillo because people like to use my own removal against me to remove one Murmillo. And the second one comes in handy because he's still there to blow up stuff. And then we got double Equest for chariot juggling and grabbing any GB that may end up in the graveyard because sometimes I just don't drop my removal cards. So then you got Gladiator Darius. This guy grabs any monster any of my GB monsters in the graveyard. It makes it easier for me to summon the Eatos out. It's also good for the free Gazara's play, even though I don't run Prism. I might set Bestie in the beginning, get in the graveyard, summon a GB, run over their monster, and go into Gazara's that turn. Then I have Hoplimus for defense. Just one, I had to, but one's proved to be enough, and it works for allowing me to bluff with other monsters because they're afraid. A lot of people are afraid of starting a chain with Hoplimus. Once you start that chain, it could be a downhill spiral for most decks. And then we also have Ready Ari, because he's just the boss. Ready Ari comes out, removes stuff. Played 2 Frog Monarchs yesterday. Got rid of those frogs. They couldn't do nothing to me. And my last GB is Bestie. Because it's a Gladiator beast. You do need to go Gazara's. Pop, pop, pop. Plus off of them and just make people feel bad. Make them feel like what they set up for was useless. Now we also have Spirit Reaper and DD Assailant. DD Assailant was actually a Hoplimus. Spirit Reaper was here from the beginning. Spirit Reaper, I put him in originally to stall against 6 Sams. He turned out to be more of a hand picker, enforcing Mirror Force and Torrential and things of that nature. DD Assailant, I replaced the Hoplimus. I would set it, they run into it, their monster get removed. I use it to run into big monsters to remove it. It just came in handy. And the one seemed to just come right on time every time. So that's the monsters. Let's get to the magic cards. So since we are running Eatos, we got Trip D-Fissure. And the D-Fissures remove everything. It also protects against Honest Collude and Effect Veiler, which can sometimes give this deck problems because they're not the biggest monsters. And it also stops Light Swarms, which are pretty much dead now, but there's still, I played one, and it just wrecked them. Now we got Trip Proving Ground, because I only run 15 monsters, and it also adds versatility to the deck. I opened one duel with 3 Proving Grounds, Eatos, Chariots, and the Lance, and the guy couldn't get around me. I killed him in 2 turns. Then we got Double Lance. The Lances, I had to say they're the MVP spell card. They've won me at least half the sets, if not more, because they allowed me to just get over stuff, get around Bottomless, get around Torrential. It just worked. Then we got double MST for blow. Even though we got Bestie, it's still nice to be able to blow up Skill Drain, Oppression, those freaking Necro Valleys, anything that stays on the field, MST could get it, and it can save your Bestie from a Bottomless. Now we got our staples: Dark Hole, OP, Giant Trunade, OP, Monster Reborn, OP. Well, Giant Trunade's not as OP because it gives them back to their hand, but with Dark Hole and Monster Reborn out, it's good enough. Then we have Book of Moon. It's put that one for a reason, people. Use it. It's good. It's a quick play. You can save your own monsters. You could flip your opponent's monster face down and run over it, tag out. It just does so much for you. And even in the mirror match, if they're running Test Tiger, you got that one Book of Moon, they got that one Test Tiger play. Book the GB after they tribute it. Problem solved. And then attack, Soul Release. Because I do have the 3D fissures, but there's sometimes where my opponent goes first and they just load up their graveyard after they see that I'm running removal. They load it up thinking, alright, now that it's in the graveyard, it's kinda safe, I just gotta worry about Rediari. Just go soul release, remove their monsters. It also allows me to remove this one Spirit Reaper because he's the only one I really can't get out the graveyard. I also have, alright, so that's for the spell cards. Now I got the trap, so Trip Chariot. Self-explanatory, running GBs need the chariots. Double bottom this because they're just good. They stop the X-Saber setup, they stop so much stuff. And even though I wasn't worried about X-Sabers, it really came in handy. It works. I need warnings for 6 Sams. They got me because I couldn't stop their initial summon. So I see that problem. Next is Deep Prison. Deep Prison works at 1 because I have the 2 lances. People are trap stunned, be like, alright, I'm safe. They attack into my GB, I use lances. Weekend, they don't trap stun, they attack, I use Deep Prison. It pretty much gets the job done, that one. We got our staples, Mirror Force, Torrential, Solemn Judgment. These things are just good cards. If you have them, use them. If you don't, get them. Just like I'm trying to get warnings. Mirror Force destroys their flooded attack position monsters. Torrential destroys them when they're flooding. And Solemn Judgment, God says no. So when he says no, they don't get what they want. And finally, another tech, Return from a Different Dimension. Even though I only have the 3D fissures, pretty decent amount of stuff gets removed through either Soul Release or DD Assailant. I get my cards removed the way I want them to be. And Return from a Different Dimension allows me, if they bottom this guy's R's or they use warning when he comes out for, when I bring him out through contact fusion, I can bring him back because he's removed from play with Dimensional Fissure, Return from a Different Dimension, and blow up 2 cards. So that's it for the trap. That's it for the main deck. So now we'll get to the extra deck real quick, and then we'll go to the side. Try to make this video a little quicker. So I got the generic 2 guys R's, 2 Hurts, 1 Chimera Tech because in the side deck there are Sidras. Then we got some general synchros because you have Monster Reborn, so you can just go and take their tuner and just sync for what you need, or sync for something big enough to get what you need, or just sync for Brio, ditch your hand, and return everything to their hand and kill them. It just works. You never know when you'll be able to sync. Now for the side deck, we got Effect Veiler and Consecrate Light. Effect Veiler for anything like the 6 Sams, you can stop Kageki. Consecrate Light stops all that dark stuff, whatever random dark things you may run into. And then you got 2 Sidras for Makina Karakiri, also Mirror Match, and anything where you just really need a big monster. 2 Thunder Kings to stop 6 Sams, also to stop anything that adds and searches to the hand. Slows down a lot of stuff, good for mirror matches because it's bigger than the GBs. Then we also have 2 Smashing Grounds for decks like the Malefic Skill Drain, or just Eatos Stun, all that stuff that has bigger monsters than the GBs. And it allows them to take control because you're spinning it in their way where they can just attack direct. And then you also have 2 Noblemen of Crossouts for anything that sets, like freaking Raikos and Spies and freaking random green Kappas. And then you got Malevolent Catastrophe and Chain Whirlwind to blow up backfield. And then Double Trap Stun to stop the traps. And then also Oppression, which can be turned off by Trap Stun. And when you set up with the deck and you go Oppression, you usually win because they can't get around it. So that's the deck, YouTube. Tell me what you think. Thumbs up, comment, subscribe. Thanks.